Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Jay Cosmic and today I will be completing a Marvel Legends unboxing and toy review. Now, I have been a collector of the Marvel Legends action figures for at least 10 years and have a pretty sizable collection, so I'm excited to share this week's toy haul. The first figurine I will be talking about is X-Men 97's Emma Frost, also known as the White Queen. I am excited that we have a new figurine of hers just as a fan of the character. The next figurine in the toy haul will be X-Men 97 Sunspot. Now this is figurine 2 of 2 for this set. The rest of the set did arrive prior to these two arriving. The next figurines I will be talking about are Yelena Belova and Red Guardian from Marvel's Thunderbolts movie, or I guess New Avengers. The next figurines I will be talking about are Wolverine and Silver Samurai from the Gamerverse wave. Last but not least, I will be talking about the Gamerverse Marvel Snap San Diego Comic-Con exclusive, and the highlight of my haul, Rogue, Sauron, and Shanna the She-Devil. So the first figurine I'm going to be unboxing is X-Men 97's Emma Frost. Typically, when I open the packaging, I will start here with the X-Acto knife and just glide up, glide over on the top, and then glide down. Now I'm just able to pop it open like this and pull out what I need. Now, when this figurine got announced, I was excited just because, as mentioned earlier, I am a huge fan of Emma Frost, the White Queen in the comics, and I'm excited to see what they do with her in the cartoon as well. My one gripe with the character, although I'm a bit of a stickler for this, is the plastic cape. It does restrict her arm movements, but having a fabric cape just doesn't feel the same to me. I know people who prefer the fabric capes, but I just like the whole thing being plastic. But that's just a preference for me. Everybody's different. Oh, with that said, I do love the two heads that come with Emma Frost. We have one that is neutral, and we have one where her hair looks like it is in motion, and she comes with two hands with the fingers pointing out, and her default hands are the fists. Now, one thing when reviewing figurines moving forward, and you'll notice, is I have a gripe with excessive fists. I have a whole container full of them just because I don't feel like they fit every character, Emma Frost being one of them. As a telepath, she should be doing like this with her hands, which she has those in the package. So once these come out, the fists are coming off and the psychic hands are going on. We need a Posh Spice moment here with her. Now, one other gripe I have with her, granted it is accurate to the cartoon, is the black stripe running up the front of the boot, but that's very minor. It doesn't take away from the design. I love that we have the actual White Queen outfit. I would love a comic version to be released, but I did buy two of her just so I have that backup and don't have to worry about the comic one. I did buy the Hellfire Club box set, and I have that one still in the box, which is why I bought two of the X-Men 97 Emma Frost. So with that said, we're going to pop her out of the packaging. Sometimes it's easier to get the characters out than others. I find with the caped characters, you have to work your way down and up. And voila, she is out of the packaging. Now, this character overall gets a high review from me, just because there is a little bit of a bias here. Again, I do love the character. I love that we have an updated figurine of her. And while there is minimal articulation in the arms and arm movement, the cape does come off if you pop off her head, because again, she has a swappable head. That's an option if you want to pose her a specific way. But all in all, this is a solid figurine. I am happy to have in my collection, and I am glad to see released. The next figurine I'm going to be unboxing is Roberto, or Sunspot, voiced by Guy Augustin. I am probably butchering the name, which apologies in advance for that. I am excited to see Sunspot get some love, and Emma Frost too, just because I do find a lot of X-Men merch is centered around Wolverine. One thing you're going to notice with me is I am kind of a Wolverine hater. Part of it is oversaturation, and this is something I'm going to mention later on in the video. But part of it is just, I feel like there's so much more that could be done with him. There's so many other costumes that could be done of his, and I get he can be placed on many teams. There was a point he was on like a whole bunch, but at the same time, it's like, okay, he has X number of costumes. There's only so many of the same yellow costume we'll get. But anyways, back to Sunspot. So here he is out of the package. Now, if the neck wasn't colored to Roberto specifically, I feel like this would be a good body to utilize for the other male New Mutants. And I'm hoping we get a figurine like we got for the women New Mutants we had a few years ago in the other uniform. But this is a good start in a good standard uniform, and I love the paint job on this character. It looks solid overall. I love that he actually comes with a power signature. Not all characters are given that. And while I have a gripe with excessive fists, it does fit the character just because while he is a blaster, he does get physical too, and he is punchy, whereas the fingered, oh my god, whereas the fingers out hands will probably go in a storage container, which I'll eventually show that off when I show off the collection. That's an inevitable, that's a given. Stay tuned for that. So we're gonna pop Sunspot out of the packaging. Now, unlike Emma Frost, he will have more articulation. Going full Linda Blair here. The shoulders work great. The elbows bend. I love the matte paint job. Sometimes gloss doesn't suit everybody, and I feel like for a uniform, matte is just fine. And it suits the X-Men 97 aesthetic overall, just with the style of the animation. But I feel like this is a solid figure overall. On a scale of 1 out of 5, I will give Sunspot a 4 out of 5, 5 out of 5. I wouldn't say he's a figure of the year per se, just because I do feel like there are some cooler designs and cooler figures. But I do like this figurine, and I am excited to put him on the shelf next to Jubilee. So we're going to pop out the little fire signatures here. I guess I didn't give a grading to Emma Frost, which in her case, I'll give her a 3 to maybe 4 out of 5, just because, again, there is a bias, but she does have less articulation in the arms just because of the cape. But also, the cape is part of the look, so what are you going to do? Okay, next up is Yelena Belova and Red Guardian of the Thunderbolts and the Dark Avengers, which I was getting a little bit of MCU fatigue, but between this and the Fantastic Four, this kind of revived my love of the franchise. Just because, again, I was kind of feeling a little, I guess, almost bored with the movies and the TV shows. They weren't bad by any means, but I was just getting bored, and I feel like they were both refreshing. But I know that's not everybody's opinion. That's how I feel. Say what you will, but got the tape off. Now, who do I want to pop out first? Let's do Red Guardian, which, again, I like to start with the feet, unless it's a bulkier character, which I guess he is a little bulky, but I don't know, I just find it easier. Some characters are easier to get out of the package than others, but that is Red Guardian out of the package. I feel like they captured him pretty well overall. That's his alternate head. I'm probably going to keep the look with the helmet on just because it fits the team dynamic better. Although the alternate head is a nice thing to have. Again, not everybody is afforded that option. And next up, we're going to open Yelena Belova. Now, what I love about Yelena's figurine, although her outfit is just a plain green jumpsuit, that is her look in the movie. I do love that she has the blue eyeliner. That is one thing that kind of stood out to me when I saw her on the screen in the movie. It just popped out to me. So let's get her out of the packaging. So there she is. So baton 1, baton 2, and just so we don't lose them, not that I would, I have not lost a single piece. We're just going to put them in her back, her little back holster. Next up is her little blade. Now, I did not see a placement for that. Oh, nope, there is a placement for her blade. And of course, she comes with 2 little fists, which are going to go in the container because, again, the hands that hold her pistols, I feel more obliged to keep those on, whereas the plain fists, no. I didn't think I'd like Red Guardian as much as I did, but he's actually a pretty solid figure with really good articulation, decent amount of accessories. I gotta give him a 5 out of 5, whereas Yelena has a little less articulation, but she still has a decent amount of accessories. The articulation will probably bump her down maybe half a point or a point, but that's me being nitpicky. Aside from that, it's a really well detailed figurine that matches what we got in the movie. All in all, solid figurines. The next toys I'm going to unbox are the Gamerverse Wolverine and Silver Samurai, which I was talking about Wolverine earlier, so let's get to my gripes about him. Now, this isn't going to be all negative, obviously, because, like, I did buy the figurines. While he is in his standard yellow outfit that we seem to keep getting re-releases of, it is over-exaggerated, much like the video game that the outfit is based on. Like, we have the exaggerated horns, and the claws are huge. So we're going to unbox this. It's also nice seeing Silver Samurai get some love just because he only had one other figurine. So let's take this out of the box, which slides out that little paper. I have a little pile at my feet which will be recycled, but this is Wolverine and this is Silver Samurai. And this is the stand for Wolverine's power signature as well as Silver Samurai's, which I'll get to these after, but first the figurines. So I hate to admit it, the Wolverine is nice as much as I'm sick of this yellow outfit. Hot take, if I never saw any of the X-Men 90s outfits again, we're going to take Wolverine out, starting with the feet. And then pop him out. Now, with a figurine like this, I get why you would have fists, but I mean, with claws like this, the fists, gotta store them. But yeah, solid figurine overall. Next up is Silver Samurai, which we're just going to pop him out. That was actually pretty easy. Just because he's one solid unit. Ow. So next we're going to take out the accessories. So we got the sword. And I'm not sure what this is. It is not indicated anywhere on the packaging, so we have mystery energy. Yep, they click together. And then it looks like it goes onto the little plastic stand. And now you can display this in front of your Wolverine and make it look like he's slash attacking. Or I guess using Metal Claw, which actually has an effectiveness versus slash. If you're a Pokemon fan, you will get that. I hate Ed Binning. I like the Wolverine, but the Wolverine is actually a good figurine. 5 out of 5. And the Silver Samurai. You know what? He gets about 4, 4.5, less movement. No, he gets a 5.2. These are both good figurines. I like them overall. It's a good set. They really outdid themselves with the Gamerverse wave of the Marvel vs. Capcom. So with that said, let's get to the part I've been looking forward to the most. I want to give a shout out to my cousin's husband, Ian, who attended San Diego Comic-Con this year and picked up for me the Marvel Snap Gamerverse box set, which I greatly appreciate and was really glad to have somebody guarantee me this. Just because I know it was available on Hasbro Pulse, but who's to say I would have been able to get it? So just knowing I was guaranteed this set, it means a lot that I had family out there come through for me. So again, thank you. One thing I love about the box is the art on the back reflects the cards from the Marvel Snap game. And yes, I do play that game. So with that said, let's open this box. I don't feel too bad just because it is a little bit damaged in cargo. So I don't feel too bad opening this. I want to put Shanna with Kazar. Sauron can go wherever I need him to go, and Rogue with Magneto, because she did not know Gambit at this time when she was in the Savage Land, if you read the comics. We're going to pop this open, lift the tab, pull it out. Who to take out of the packaging first? Well, Sauron's probably last because Rogue and Shanna are in front of him. Let's do Shanna first. Which I really hope she gets an individual release just because sticking her in an exclusive box kind of sucks for anybody who's a bit of a completionist. So let's get Shanna out first. It looks like this is attached, but that's fine. I'm just going to pop her out of the plastic. There we go. She is popped out of the plastic. And voila. I've been saying that a lot. Here is Shanna the She-Devil. Decent articulation overall, and a solid sculpt and paint job. Now, the fists, those gotta come off. She has other hands that come in handy. She has the hands that point forward, and the grippy hands. She has stuff to grip, so the grippy hands are going to be gripping the grippy things, as well as a knife to go into her holster. So we're going to pop those out. Grippy hands, which I will be putting on her. There is... You call that a knife? and her open hands. And that is what comes with Shanna the She-Devil. Next up, we're going to be opening Rogue, who, when this figure was announced, I saw people were giving her a hard time for not having the prettiest face sculpture, and honestly, seeing it in person now, she's definitely had better. Just not her best look face-wise, but the costume is pretty iconic. So we're going to pop out Rogue's spear, which comes out pretty easy. And Rogue comes with 2 grippy hands and 2 open hands. And right now she has fists on, which, you know where those are going. Oh, and of course she comes with a knife as well. In my bad Australian accent. Mikey Dangerous, you are going to hate me for that. So that's her knife. Out of this pretty easy. And voila. I gotta stop saying that. And that is Savage Land Rogue. So we're just gonna pop her hands out, which again, she's gonna get the grippy ones just because she has accessories to grip. Makes the most sense. Especially if you're displaying them. It'd be different if they were just kind of sitting in storage or keeping them in package. If I had a spare of this, one would be staying in package. But again, with the box being dinged up, I don't feel too bad opening these. But voila, grippy hands. Might have to start a voila count at this point. Drink every time I say voila. Open hands. And that is Savage Land Rogue. And finally, we're going to open Sauron. He does not want to cure cancer. He wants to turn people into dinosaurs. I love that that is an actual panel, and that'll always be my favorite moment of his. And he also has Hypnotic Power Signature. We love a power signature. Let's pop him out. Now, what I don't like is that the outer wing detaches when you pull him out. But fear not, he is not broken. It reattaches, no problem. He has his full wings. He is able to turn people into dinosaurs. The package also comes with his tail, which kind of makes it annoying to display him. I do have his Build-A-Figure. Jeez, loud. I do have his Build-A-Figure as well, which I kept the tail off that one just so I could actually display him properly. With where I'm putting this Sauron, keeping the tail on shouldn't be a problem. Just because he'll be at the back of the display, so this won't be hitting anything and it won't be interfering with other characters who would be standing behind him. I don't want to cure cancer. I want to turn people into dinosaurs. And that is Sauron. And we're just going to pop his power signature out of the packaging. And I think these attach to his eyes. He is hypnotizing you. And Sauron has arrived. Now, the Sauron figurine, as much as he's a re-release of what we got for the Build-A-Figure, I do love that he comes with the power signature. He does have good movement overall. Love the paint job. I think I like this better than the Build-A-Figure paint job. All in all, A+, 5 out of 5. I don't want to sound like I love everything, but there aren't really any negatives overall. So I'm not going to be unnecessarily negative or overly critical. Rogue gets 4 out of 5, mostly because while the figurine itself is fine, I can't forgive that head sculpt. It is just very puffy, very sleepy looking, just very unappealing overall. And Shanna gets a 5 out of 5. No notes. Now, out of the whole collection, out of this entire toy haul, if I had to pick a favorite, I gotta give it to Shanna the She-Devil or Red Guardian. I do think Red Guardian does have the most positives overall. While he isn't my favorite character per se or favorite look, he does have the most articulation and has one of the highest amount of accessories as well. Granted, Shanna and Rogue have a decent amount of accessories too. Again, Rogue can't forgive the head sculpt, and Shanna, no notes. So, Shanna and Red Guardian, you are the picks of this week. I'm hoping to share more cosplay content in the near future. If there's anything else you'd like to see, sound off in the comments below again. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and thank you again. Now to give a shout out to my Patreon tiers. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank everyone who has signed up for the Liftoff tier as well as the Cosmic Defender tier. The Cosmic Defender tier including Michael Mendez, Cedric Lawson, Joseph Guzman, Enema Frost, Sorry I'm Adrian, RP Hall, Nick Tomboy, Max, Key of the Seasons, Kay, Jacob Salinas, Soy Breadward, Rainbow Kid, Callisto Wade, Galustic, Todd, Ricochet Intent, Lorenz McLean, Jay, Donovan D. Davis, Angel Dayton Lara, Cyrus Solkach, sorry if I mispronounced that, Ramiro Alvarez, Craig Cole, Michael Woods, Kevin C., Ekadorama, Ben Frederick, Jordy Lestrange, Alextro25, Laxi, Brian Roard, Rye Scott, Jay Good, Connor, Mackenzie McBynum, Riceratops, DJ Jinx, Significant Dream, Mark, Matthew, Matthias, Jack, Jacob Lott, What the, Phantom Portal 03, Nate J. Jordan, Sailor Star Collector, David Roth, not to be confused with David Lee Roth, Adam Sarah, Tyler C. Smith, Nick Benson, Leafy, Dan Nichols, Troy Bellman Frood, C1976, Nick, Brian Messiano, RR, Paul Roberts, Articulate Particulate, Matt Stark Webbs, B, Seth Martin, GB, and Mia. Thanks again for signing up, and if you're interested in checking out my Patreon, there will be exclusive content as well as a first look at the newest video before everybody else. And thanks again for all the support. Much appreciated.